everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So, my name is Michelle, and I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So, today I will talk about the upcoming month of May 2026, and I will start off with explaining this month in general, and then we're going to dive into each and every single sign. Now, most accurate is your rising sign, and for additional information, you can check your sun sign and your moon sign. So let's go ahead and see what we can expect for this month of May. So right away on the 1st of May, we're going to have a full moon that will happen in the sign of Scorpio at 11 degrees. And when we look at the sign of Scorpio, this rules the 8th house of transformation. And this is the only sign who consists of 3 layers. So here we first dive into the underworld to see what is out there, to bring it to the surface, and then to integrate it, release it, forgive it, to do our shadow work. So we can release this baggage and take the wisdom of the underworld and see how we can bring it into the light. So, when we go through uncomfortable feelings, on the other side is where things will become a lot lighter. Okay. And since we have a full moon and the moon is our emotions. So we're going to look deep within our emotions. And, Scorpio is great at doing research. So not only our own emotions, but this is also a great full moon if you're doing any kind of research. If you're, for example, working in the medical field, or if you're an accountant, things like that, you can really dive deep because this full moon is in a square with Pluto. Okay, and Pluto rules Scorpio. So we can do deep research. We will see a lot of truths, uncomfortable truths coming to the surface in our own lives. Okay, secrets being exposed or on a global level. Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius. So this is about community, right? So how can we work together? How can we be part of a group? How can we embrace each other's uniqueness without ego getting involved? But Pluto is like on the lowest level, it's controlling, um, and that's why maybe some cults will be exposed around this time, or some groups, or things that are just not completely what they seem might be coming to the surface. Okay. Also, watch who you tell your secrets to around this day, okay? Because they might tell it to others. Um, Although Scorpio is a sign that is really good at keeping secrets. So see who you're with, okay? Also, Scorpio is the sign of finance and money, and not our money like Taurus, but it's the money of, your shared resources with your spouse, or, you need to take a deep look at maybe your contracts that you have with insurance, your pension, your papers, your taxes, okay? And really dive deep and resolve that around this day, okay? So in general, it's a beautiful time to forgive. And we have Venus, right? Forgive, not forget, I always say, because we don't have to forget. We have to forgive so we can move on with our own lives. Because if we hold on to anger, it's just going to block things, okay? And the person doesn't always have to be present to forgive. You don't always have to say it. It's the intention of understanding that not everybody can meet us where we're at. Sometimes it's just not yet in this lifetime, or just not yet, and it will come later. But if we wait for it, it's going to drag us out, and it's going to be build up anger for a long time. So it's about self-release. So luckily we have Venus here in Gemini. This is a lighter energy. It's a mercurial sign, and it's in a slight conjunction with Uranus. I mean, it's 9 degrees apart, so not very intense, but usually I count up to 5 degrees, something like that. But it will, lighten up the mood. So it's almost like we have this heaviness and this massive transformation, but it's almost like there's light on the other side, or we can just see it in a light way, because also sometimes when you've seen one thing in your life, you also know that and can appreciate the good things, right? To understand, I've seen this in, the underworld, but I've also seen this beautiful thing. So choosing to be optimistic and to take things in a lighter way. So, and also look at with optimism to the future. So we have Venus and Uranus also squaring the nodes, okay? And that's usually creating a bit of tension because the South Node in Virgo is about, I need to plan things. Everything needs to be perfect. And as a Virgo myself, I struggle with this. Literally, this video, I don't know what's going on. I've tried to record it plenty of times, but my perfectionistic Virgo just, I don't know. So I keep my fingers crossed for this one. Okay, so it's letting go about perfectionism and going into Pisces, channel the energies, feeling your intuition, letting go of how things should go. Okay. And with Venus there as well in the mix, it's very often also a place where you maybe even have to stand up for yourself, right? Like, or letting things go, like saying what you feel is according to your heart, and not being afraid to speak up about something, okay? And talking about speaking up is because Mercury is in Aries, which is usually quite blunt, right? Like Mercury in Aries, and let me know if that's you. If you have Mercury in Aries, you're quite like, you don't like the BS. You just want to speak truth and no manipulation, no anything. You just say what it is. But with Chiron here, it's like, oh, what did I just say? I'm feeling a bit guilty about it, or you're just afraid to speak up in general. So around this time, it's time to see even heavier things. We can take it lightly. We can speak up in even like uncertain situations because it will help you with the North Node, letting go. Because Pisces, remember, it's the last house of astrology. This is where we let go of things. This is where we become one with the divine, actually. And our desire to have or our desire to mask is going to go away. And I would say the lowest version of Pisces would be to escape from it. But a very high, integrated Pisces is flowy and full of creativity and intuition. Now we have Venus sextile Saturn, so we can actually bring into action our ideas. We have Mars in the sign of Aries, so this is very strong. This is a go, go, go sign. And it's separating now from Saturn, so Saturn is not really holding Mars back anymore. So take action where you need to. Look at the obstacles, like what can you what is holding you back from stepping into your power? What is holding you back into stepping into your creativity? Those things will be coming up around this full moon. So we have a new moon in Taurus. Now, this new moon is kind of about treating yourself a little bit. Okay. New moon is where new beginnings, new intentions come. And we have it in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. Venus is about love. I always say it's more about self-love because when we love ourselves, we can fully attract a relationship. We can trust our creative process. So it's a beautiful day to create something new, or just enjoy yourself. Treat yourself a little bit because Taurus is about the physical and enjoying our physical world. So cook a nice meal, go for a nice dinner, with the person that you love, your friends, your family, your partner, and treat yourself, okay? We do have Mars in Aries, but it's now with Chiron. So we might feel a bit guilty for stepping up or being afraid to take action. Like, am I doing the right thing? This is also about healing because Chiron is the wounded healer. Where is our wound and how can we heal it? So it's time to face our masculine energy, and we all have it, female, male. right? If we are someone that is afraid to take action, we will be revealed the woundings that are holding us back. But in general, this is a day, to kind of enjoy. We have Uranus in a conjunction with Mercury and with this new moon. So it's about uplifting conversations, ideas, and just beautiful time to create and set a new intention. So then we have a full moon. So the second full moon in the month of May, once in a blue moon. We all know this expression. And, because we have a second full moon in the same month, we're calling this a blue moon. And this happens every 2 to 3 years. And the last time it happened was the 19th of August, 2024. And we have it in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is the sign of adventure, learning things. This is about excitement, right? Whereas Sagittarius is all about learning through own experience. Gemini is learning through books and through other people. Okay, so here we're gonna find that balance there, and the sun in Gemini is in a conjunction with Uranus. So this is so good for a new study, following your curiosity, going on a trip, okay? Teaching, studying, let your brain do all the work. Now, Mercury in Gemini is very strong, but it's in a square with Neptune. So sometimes we might feel like zoning out, daydreaming, and forgetting what we were actually doing. So it's a very creative aspect, but for precise work, it would be, you really have to ground yourself and write things down, because you might forget things and also have certain miscommunication, because when someone has a very Neptunian vibe, it's like you forget things and then you think in your mind you've already said it and then you haven't said it yet. So I would love to hear from people who have this aspect with Mercury, that sometimes you think you've already done it and you haven't done it yet, but in your mind you've done it. So we also have Mars. Mars is in Taurus and it's square Pluto, and Pluto went retrograde on the 6th of May. And so when it's retrograde, we're internalizing our power, our where do we want to control things, right? And it's regarding community as well, because it's in the sign of Aquarius. And Mars is in a sign of Taurus, which is about possession. So are we trying to control our possessions? Are we fearful for our money in some ways, maybe? Are we, and also this day, watch out for power struggles or disagreements when it comes to money and friends, okay? Or maybe inner anger, like where are you trapped in life? Because Aquarius likes to be free and Pluto likes to control. So maybe you're feeling a bit trapped. So look in your chart, where is Aquarius and where is Taurus, or you just wait for all the signs where I'm going to explain it. We have this full moon in a square with the nodes. So we're going to have this kind of this ground cross where, we have information gathered, we are traveling, and but maybe be open-minded, maybe don't have everything planned, maybe let it flow a little bit, okay? And it can also guide you towards a new path, new fresh ideas. So don't stick too much to your plan, your routines, but let it flow a little bit. Now, I'm very excited for the month of June. We're in May. May is already much better than April, okay? But June is going to be amazing. But we're going to have a pre-taste of Jupiter exalted in Cancer and Venus, in Cancer, which is doing quite nicely there. It's a very pampering, treating yourself nicely vibe. Now, the only thing is that Venus for now is square Saturn. So we might doubt, like, do we actually deserve it? Maybe things are going well for you, okay? And Cancer is regarding moon emotions, family. Maybe your family is gifting you something, or maybe you feel like actually there's something missing there, and it's about looking at what you do have. So it's wisdom, appreciation, intuition that is forming that all together. Okay, so June is going to be so good because we have Venus in a conjunction, closer in a conjunction with Jupiter. But already end of May, we're going to have a pre-taste of it. So wherever Cancer is in your chart, it's going to be supercharged, amazing day full of opportunities. Okay. Especially in real estate. Also, if you're in real estate or you want to sell a house, buy a house, things like that. So important dates, like I said, the 6th of May, we have Pluto stationing retrograde. So we're going inward here. And we need to see where, we feel trapped in our life, where we feel uncomfortable. And sometimes Pluto is a planet that projects a lot, right? So if there's something unresolved within ourselves, we're going to see that in the people around us, okay? Like, for example, if you do not think about yourself, you're going to attract people that think only about themselves, right? So we need to balance. We need to balance things. And then when you change, people around you change, okay? That's why people on the spiritual path, things shift very fast. And then there are people that grow with you, right? That are going to grow with you on the long term. On the 21st, we're going to have Gemini season where the Sun, Uranus, and Mercury are all aligned. So this is great for innovative ideas, fun and connection. Okay, this is also a month where, enjoy a little bit, treat yourself well, and do not be afraid to think outside of the box. I already explained to you the blue moon, which is, yeah. So let's go to all the signs because otherwise this video is going to be way long. So let's start with Aries. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. We have this full moon in Scorpio at 11 degrees in your 8th house. So here you're going to look at your finances, your income, compare it with your spouse. How can we make this work? This can also be with your business partner. You're going to look at budget and how you can make things work. Look in general in your taxes, your papers, to see how to manage everything. I know for some of you, yearly tax and things are coming up. So yeah, doing your in-depth research and making sure all your contracts, pensions, insurances are all in order. This full moon is in a square with Pluto in the 11th house. So, yeah, watch out with money deals from communities or, saying like, oh, if you invest this and that will be the result. So, too good to be true situations. And also lending money to friends around this time might not be the best agreement to make. Also exposing secrets to friends because this is a very transformative day. Okay. And yeah, maybe telling them some secrets will not stay just with your friends. So this is just around this day. Okay. But you do have Pluto in 11th house in general. So you will see that some of your friendships, you're going to grow a lot closer, and some of them are just, leaving your life. So the people that were meant to stay with you will stay with you. Okay. So yeah, we have Saturn and Mars now separating in the first house. So this is really good. Okay, you're gonna feel you're gonna have more energy because April was kind of weird, especially for you, Aries, because you're a sign you like to go, you don't like to wait, you just want to take action. And Saturn is kind of holding you back. And with Mars in the mix, it makes it more frustrating. Like, I want to take action now, but I kind of don't know how to do that. We have Venus and Uranus there in your 3rd house. This is fantastic, okay? In general, this transit of Uranus in Gemini in your 3rd house, you're going to have so many good ideas. You know how to think outside of the box. And with this trine with Pluto, your ideas can really transform other people, okay? So this is a beautiful transit where, you're going to really empower other people through being different, exposing your thoughts. And Mercury is conjunct Chiron, so maybe you're afraid to speak up about certain things, but with the wounded healer, actually your voice can be extremely healing, and sometimes what you have to share is what other people need to hear. Okay, now we have this new moon in Taurus in your 2nd house, so this is an opportunity to make some new money, more money, or have the intention of earning more money. So you can do a little manifestation ritual. Um, think of new ideas on how to do so, because Uranus is in a conjunction with Mercury and this new moon. So yeah, come up with new creative ideas. Or a trip that you're going to is life changing and is really going to show you how to make more income. Um, Mars is in a conjunction with Chiron, so you might be a little bit afraid to step up to take action towards something. But these wounds will show you what is actually in the way of taking action. What are the insecurities? And in general, Saturn in your sign is really helping you bring closure to yourself and looking into the uncomfortable. Like, why are you preventing yourself from achieving something that you really want? What is holding you back, Aries? So we have this full moon in your fellow fire sign, okay? It's at 9 degrees. So especially if you have your sun, moon, and rising around 9 degrees, so 5 degree up, 5 degree down, you're going to be highly impacted by this full moon, okay? And for you, Sagittarius is in the ninth house. So this is maybe a trip, traveling. This could be just a study, or you're reading into certain things, or you want to write down your adventures. Some people want to create maybe a photo book where you gather all the memories that you have. Okay. Can be quite a nostalgic day, or to teach and share the knowledge that you have with other people. Okay. It's a time to be open minded. It's a time to have fun. It's a time to enjoy. You have Neptune in the first house as well. And it's in a square with Mercury in the third house. So it could be sometimes you're going to be daydreaming a bit and not paying attention to what is being said, especially if you're talking to, your neighbors or your siblings. You're probably not 100% present. So ground yourself before you talk with them. Mars is square Pluto, retrograde, and Mars for you is in the second house. So again, we're going to the subject of money and friends. Yeah, just be a little careful with that. This full moon is square to nodes as well. Now the nodes for you are in the sixth house, which is what you're here to let go of. So trying to control calorie intake, or, having such strict routines, or focusing so much at work that you're forgetting about your health. And you have Venus and Jupiter there in the fourth house. So it's really about, relaxing a little bit and enjoying the home, enjoying the family. But with Venus in a square with Saturn, sometimes you feel like almost, I don't deserve to rest, or I don't deserve to sit still. So it's important to listen to your body, okay? If you travel as well, that you take some time to just relax as well. Don't overdo everything. Okay, I'm getting the card guilt. So some of you feel guilty, sometimes guilty for success, okay? It's also, especially June is going to be a great time for moving, but some of you are going to move already this month. Guilty for maybe good things happening to you, okay? You're afraid to maybe even share that with your friends, like you don't want to upset them. I'm getting loneliness. It's almost like becoming comfortable being alone, right? Some people think that when someone is alone, right? If we don't have, for example, a relationship, or you're spending a lot of time alone, that is like the end of the world. Well, some people are perfectly fine being alone, okay? We come alone and we go alone. So ultimately, we have to learn how to be with ourselves and get to know ourselves, because this is a big part of life. So yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Aries. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help me expand my channel, subscribe to it. I would love to hear from you, your thoughts, your plans for the month of May. And I hope to see you next time, my amazing, amazing Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. So we're going to have this full moon in Scorpio at 11 degrees in your seventh house. So your relationships are going through this massive transformation, okay? This can be with your current partner, but it could also be that there maybe still be something in your gut that is not sitting right with how things went in the past with a partner, okay? So this is time to transform, What are you attracting? Because with Scorpio in the 7th house, like I said in the beginning, Scorpio has 3 layers. So you can either attract partners that are extremely toxic for you, or very wise and spiritual. Okay, this depends where the Scorpio you attract, or the partner you attract, which level they are at. Okay. um Also, this full moon is in a square with Pluto. Okay, so the sun in your sign in your beautiful season. So as well, happy birthday to my lovely Taurus, which are sun sign. I hope you have a fantastic day. Do something fun on your birthday, because the energy you create on your birthday is gonna set it. It's an intention for the whole year to come. Yeah, business partners as well. We have a square with Pluto. So either work is very demanding and it impacts your relationships. Okay. Because with Pluto there in the 10th house, there might be some power struggles going on at work. Maybe you feel a little bit controlled, problems with the government, trouble with the government. In some cases, we have legal situations going on. Okay. Um, so stay centered, stay calm. We have Venus and Uranus in the 2nd house. So this is quite a light energy. And in some cases, money can actually come your way, especially if you work online or you work in science or do something out of the box, like sudden money could be coming in for you. We have this Venus also in a trine with Pluto. So you could teach people, like some of you will teach other people on how to make money, or just helping them find their self-worth. So if you're with your friends, there's a big chance you're trying to empower them and yeah, step up their game. In general, you could meet someone new as well, like a relationship. Just make sure that what you attract, because it's in a square with Pluto, is actually everything looks as it seems. Okay. Venus Uranus is square the North Node and the South Node. So yeah, standing up for yourself in money matters. We have the South Node in the 5th house and the North Node in Pisces in the 11th house. So again, communities, friendships, yeah, just make good money agreements, especially if you are doing something related to workshops, that you make good agreements. We have Venus, Uranus sextiling Saturn. Mars is in the 12th house, so the energy is a bit lower until Mars is going to enter your sign, Taurus. But for now, don't rush too much. Take some rest where you need to. Luckily, the Saturn Mars conjunction, this close conjunction, is now gone. Okay, so respect your body, listen to it. We have Mercury conjunct Chiron in the 12th house, so maybe it's a bit more difficult to really express yourself around this time. So meditate before you speak. That's really going to help you clarify things. We have a new moon in the sign of Taurus, which will happen on the 16th of May at 25 degrees. And this is great to set a new intention. It's in the 1st house, a new beginning, a new energy. So if you want to manifest anything, this is the day to meditate, visualize what it is that you want, my lovely Taurus. New ideas on how to make money with Uranus there in the 2nd house in a conjunction. And it's also just the time to treat yourself, get a nice massage, go for a nice dinner. Maybe you want to go to the hairdresser. It's just the time to pamper yourself a little bit. Okay. Venus, yeah, Mars and Chiron are there in the 12th house. So like I said, energies are a bit lower at the beginning of the month, or at least until the mid-month. By the end of the month, that will disappear. Mars will go in your sign, but it will be square Pluto in the 10th house. Okay, so your powerful energy is back. Just make sure that you don't overpower your boss, because they might not really like it and they will fight back. So use your intense energy for transforming others and channel this power into your work. If you are, in the public, you really can make huge changes through, yeah, through videos or messages or things like that, or just in general in the workplace. Okay. Um, yeah, we have this full moon in Sagittarius, right, in your eighth house. So this is about your money, your shared resources, and yeah, creative ideas on making money, money coming in for you, which is due to can even be due to karmic blessings for you. Okay. Um, Mercury is in your second house and it's squaring Neptune in the 12th. So this is great for meditation, like money manifestation. If you want to do any kind of spiritual routine, you can really get a lot of downloads and messages, especially because the sun is also with Uranus. Uranus giving you these flashes of insight. So it's almost like you know the next steps and what to do next. Now, this full moon, um, and with Sagittarius in the eighth house, right? You might want to dive a little bit in depth into the occult, um, because the eighth house really likes to go deep into different subjects, and Sagittarius loves to learn, right? Loves to travel, loves to learn. So travels are very transformational for you, Taurus. Um, so yeah, this full moon squaring the notes, it related to money and children. Make good agreements there. Also with your partner that, this is what we're going to budget, this is how much we're going to spend, and not overspending too much. Venus and Jupiter are in your third house, so fantastic for new ideas. Really small, short trips, especially near the coast, near water, the river, is going to be very healing for you. And in June, we're going to have this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter, so that will be fantastic, but they're already coming close. It's just that Venus is now in a square with Saturn in the 12th. So it might almost be like, do I even deserve all these good things? Or are my ideas good enough? Should I? So there would be some questions. But in general, it's a beautiful time. Maybe some of you want to buy a car as well, or thinking about buying a new car. Okay, having good conversations with your siblings as well. What do we have here? Acceptance. It's almost like Taurus, you're in this beautiful phase where you're learning how to accept yourself. And I think this is so easy, but you know how many people on this planet have not fully accepted themselves, looking in the mirror, being critical of themselves. I mean, we just look around and we see how many people are changing things about themselves, things they don't like, being self-critical. But I feel that you're going to be on the journey of, you know what, this is me. And we cannot be so perfect all the time. We can be healthy, we can be caring for ourselves, but some things are just so unrealistic. Yeah, so I'm getting here adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I feel this huge like cycle of acceptance, even though difficult things had happened. It's like, you know what? I can handle anything. I'm just ready to face whatever comes. So if there's challenges in your life, it's almost like if you accept them, the challenges will either disappear or they will be a lot less. Okay. So yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, for you, we have this full moon in Scorpio that will happen on the 1st of May in your sixth house. So there is some transformation happening, Gemini, when it comes to your maybe your weight, your diet, your sports routine. Okay. And we have this in a square with Pluto in the ninth house. So I would say be a bit careful if you're traveling and you're eating certain foods that if something smells a bit off, that you listen to that, okay? Yeah, so a trip might really transform you and also test you to stay true to your body, okay? So transforming also your routines, things at work. Maybe your belief systems are not matching those of your colleagues. Sometimes it's difficult, right? Because everyone has their own belief system. And we would love people to see our point or our point of view, but sometimes it's not possible to change perceptions because we have all our different perceptions, the way we were raised. So I almost would say, like, certain political views or religious views, like, keep them out of the workplace around this time, because you might not fully be in agreement with each other. But definitely a trip can uh change your perspective. It could be even something you're watching online, a documentary is really changing the way you see the world. Now, with the sun in Taurus in the 12th house, make sure that you also rest. So don't overdo things. Have a healthy, balanced routine, and any health issues that need to be shown, okay? Health issues don't just come, okay? That's usually certain moons or placements in astrology. They just highlight what was already there, because sometimes we're trying to stuff things in our body energetically, and a volcano happens when there is a certain alignment, okay, or when there is space to face certain things. Now, Venus is in your first house, so you feel like kind of a rebel, and you're actually very magnetic right now. So on one hand, with your colleagues, maybe your belief systems, your learnings, maybe you're doing astrology or something, and you're trying to convince your colleagues and they're not very open to it. But if you share that maybe online, or you just live it, it's almost like when you're gonna live it with Venus and Uranus in the first house, people are just starting to respect it because they can see that what you do is beneficial. Maybe you want to change your hair, your clothes, feeling like a little bit more experimental. And with Uranus in the first house, it's time to maybe choose different directions to see which one suits you best. Okay, so it's okay to make changes sometimes, because you're here to experiment and see what suits you best physically, but also directions in life. Okay. Venus and Uranus are in a square with the nodes. So with the south node in the fourth house, it could be that you're kind of letting go of your house. Maybe before you wanted to organize your house, cleaning it a lot, but your work needs more attention. Okay, could be letting go of, could be moving very often, moving more often for work, not being super attached to the home. Even if you want to, it's almost like bringing you into different directions. Now, the 11th house, we have now Saturn and Mars separating their ways. So this intense energy of April is kind of disappearing. Now you have full on Mars, so it's time to take action. But you might struggle a bit to speak up if you work in an international company, or you're with your friends, or when you're with a group of people, you might struggle to say what you mean, or you say it and you feel guilty after. Okay, Chiron is the wounded healer, but sometimes the words that you speak are very healing for other people. So keep that in mind. This new one in Taurus is going to be in your 12th house. 12th house is resting, especially with Taurus. Take it easy, pamper yourself, a day to reset, to journal. Okay. Even though you have a lot to do, take some time in this day to rest and to, come back to yourself. Okay. We have Mars and Chiron in the 11th house, where maybe again you struggle a bit with taking action in groups, or you're feeling afraid, even if you are leading, because with Aries in the 11th house, especially if you're Gemini rising, very often you're the leader of the group. But now you feel like, oh, is that too much? Am I saying too much? Am I doing too much? You might have some doubts, okay? But with Saturn, you will see who are going to be your long-term friends. And yeah, if you work in a big organization, it's just maybe a bit more responsibility there, but ultimately it's gonna bring you to a long-term journey, okay, of maybe you becoming authority. We have a full moon in Sagittarius, which is going to be in your 7th house, which is all to do with relationships. So for some of you, you might be attracting someone new in your life, a new partner there. Sagittarius is really optimistic and you need someone that is going on adventures with you and that you can learn with, learn from, okay? Exciting and fun relationships. Yeah, and because we have the Sun and Uranus there, we have a trine Pluto in the ninth house. So maybe you travel together or you're meeting someone on a trip. Yeah, maybe the person that you're with, it's, you thought you were friends, but it turns out it's maybe a bit more. We have Mars there in the 12th house. So that means by the end of the month, Mars is going to be in the 12th house. So at the beginning, you're going to have a full power in the 11th house. Now it's in the 12th. So take it easy, listen to your body. The thing is that you're going to feel so restless with Uranus in the first house. It's your season by the end of the month from the 21st. So if you're a sun sign Gemini, I'm wishing you a very happy birthday, an amazing time. Set a good intention on your worst day, because that energy is coming with you for the whole year. We have Pluto in the ninth house. So even if you're traveling, take it easy. If you're studying, right? Like some of you want to study behind the scenes, and it's like you are not able to stop. You're going to just keep going, going, going. The thing is that Mercury here is strong in Gemini in your sign, but it's squaring Neptune. So sometimes you might feel distractions. Your mind is going somewhere else. So it's a good time to ground yourself, and you will question some of your belief systems around this time as well. Okay, but miscommunication with friends can happen around this day as well, so just be mindful that Neptune is like kind of foggy and not coming forward very clearly. So this full moon is also squaring the nodes, making a bit of a grand cross there. So make sure to balance everything in life. I always say with a grand cross, be in the middle. Find the right balance between partnerships, work, business partnerships. Even if you're in some kind of legal situation, okay, that you divide your attention where it is needed. Venus and Jupiter are going to come closer together. This is so good for your finances, Gemini. Amazing time. Not just finances, but also just your self-worth, okay? It's just that Venus is square Saturn for now. In June, it's going to be amazing time, amazing time. That maybe you feel like you don't want to share. Like maybe your finance is going well and you feel like, oh, my friends are struggling or it's hard. Share it if you want to. Don't let people talk you down, okay? Or you start to doubt yourself. So wherever wounds are coming up regarding money or self-worth, know that, you are worthy of earning money and all these things, okay? Let me get you a card. Gratitude. So this is about seeing that what you have is already more than you think it is. Sometimes we're always looking for more, 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 and it's distracting from the things that we already have. Okay. And being grateful for what we already have is attracting more, especially with Jupiter in the second house. Empathy. So, yeah, with Saturn in the 11th house, maybe your friends are struggling, but I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. Sometimes, we hear one side or we have an opinion about something, but um yeah, we might have actually made the same choices if we had to go through the same as that person. So trying to be more understanding of a journey of someone else is very healing for them and very healing for you, accepting our beautiful differences. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to help me expand my channel, subscribe to it. And until next time, so let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have this fellow water sign full moon. So you will be highly impacted, especially if your full moon is around 11 degrees, 5 degrees up, 5 degrees down. It's going to be in your fifth house. So it might be that your children are going through some kind of transformation. Okay, maybe they're a bit upset and they are admitting that something is happening, and it's going to be very healing if they're finally speaking up. So if they dare to speak up to you, be this listening ear and be ready for them to share. This is also about your own inner child. So whatever comes up could be related to your inner child. Okay? Because sometimes we forget that it's okay to be more playful, that it's not, we don't have to be serious all the time. We can also enjoy, okay? Jupiter is in the first house, giving you this beautiful magnetic glow of optimism. And yeah, it's just a wonderful time to reconnect with the playful side of yourself. And even though Scorpio is not very playful, we have Uranus and Venus there in the 12th house. So maybe you want to go behind the scenes, do something creative there, make something uh, from even channeling, right? 12th house can channel beautiful art, beautiful words. Going back to this, optimistic side of yourself. Fifth house is also romance, so attracting someone new. Scorpio is magnetic. It's very, it's almost like a sensual energy that might be coming in. Like maybe some of your friends are, a friend is more than just a friend, and you're realizing that. But we have it square Pluto, okay, this full moon, which is about transformation, intensity, and see what a person meaning is if you attract them right now, if they actually mean what they say, or it's more, sexual energy that is going on, because Pluto is magnetic, and the same with Taurus and the same with Scorpio. So just see people's intention. It could be that you're a bit restless, like you have so many ideas that it's hard to sleep. So do some journaling before you go to bed, and take some time off social media or your phone before you sleep. That's really going to help. Uranus in the 12th house can definitely also bring Kundalini. Don't be afraid of that. It's only happening when you're ready. Okay. It's best to, it will come natural when you're ready. Okay. You don't have to force it, because sometimes you hear all these bad stories about psychosis and things like that, but it only happens when you're not ready. And it, in very rare cases, it comes when we're actually not so ready, but we'll figure it out. You don't get anything that you're not ready for. Okay. It's about us staying on a high vibration. And that's going to really be helpful. Okay. Like letting go of the old life that we've had, um, the old life where, vibrations can go down and you have to go into a new life, which takes some adjustment, right? Life of more simpler life, so to speak. Venus and Uranus are square to nodes, so a trip can really be life changing. Just take some rest during your trip. Maybe you want to write about your trips and write down what your experiences are about, or you could literally start a new study that is more spiritually related. We have Venus, Uranus sextiling Saturn. Saturn and Mars are in the 10th house, so there could be some, restless energy when it comes to the workplace. Like April would have been difficult. Like maybe some of you Cancer literally quit your job in April. Or it's been quite demanding and more difficult than usual. Okay. Mercury and Chiron, maybe you need to speak up, and don't be afraid that your ideas are not smart or that you're not good enough, because your words can be very healing with Chiron as the wounded healer. We have this new moon in Taurus on the 16th of May at 25 degrees in your 11th house. This is time to enjoy, have fun with your friends, have, exchange great ideas, have some fun together, go for a dinner, meet up with like-minded people, go do an artistic workshop. This is just a lovely, lovely time. Now, Mars is in a conjunction with Chiron, so it could be that you're just afraid. Maybe your boss was very picky on you or making comments, and now it's very hard for you to actually take action in the workplace. But it's now a time to also be gentle with yourself. It's normal to make ideas, and sometimes, it can be just how the mood of your boss, like maybe your boss is going through a difficult time. I see that a lot in my readings, like people have a hard time with a boss or anything, and I tune into the energy of the boss, and the boss is also having a hard time and just being very grumpy at work. I'm not saying this is good or this is something we should approve of, but It makes things more understandable sometimes, that it's not always personal, right? Sometimes things are not personal. People just project their own difficulties, or, if you are not in a place where you have someone to talk to or to talk about your feelings, it's going to be just a lot more difficult to release those energies. So then we have this full moon in Sagittarius, this blue moon, and it's going to be in your sixth house. So this is about your health, routines, and for you need a lot of freedom when it comes to your routines, okay? Especially Cancer rising, you don't want to have like a job that is very like trapping you. A lot of you are also just teachers, but a new diet will be helpful. Learning about a new diet, maybe some of you will do a study for a certain diet. Now, with the sun and Uranus in the 12th house, it might be more difficult to sleep, or you're feeling very restless, but it's great for journaling and writing your ideas down behind the scenes, okay? Um, we have Mars in the sign of Taurus in your 11th house, squaring Pluto retrograde, went retrograde on the 6th of May in your 8th house. So, be aware of things you're sharing with your friends, like your financial situation. If you're going through a difficult time, just make sure to, share it with the right person, because the person might actually become a little bit angry with you, or you're angry with some of your friends. So there might be some tension going on. And also with finances, make good agreements. The good thing is, Cancer, Jupiter is in a conjunction with Venus. What a beautiful alignment, okay? It's not super conjunct. So June is going to be the close conjunction. It's going to be absolutely fantastic for you. This month, it's good, but Venus is in a square with Saturn. So you might still doubt, like, am I good enough? Am I deserving of all these good things? Okay. The only thing is, because it can attract many new things, okay? New job, new partner, many good things. The only thing is that you might have a bit of a sweet tooth. So be careful with your weight, which is maybe why during this full moon you're like, you know what? I need a new diet. Some of you will get a new pet as well, okay? Um, a new pet that will support you. And sometimes that helps with diet, right? Because if you have a dog, you have to walk the dog, which is good for your diet. And your routine, because I have a dog. I always had cats. I always consider myself a cat person. I love all animals anyways, but now we have a dog, which I absolutely adore. It's like you don't need an alarm. We have two cats jumping in the morning on us, and then we have a dog who wants to walk. So you will wake up. They have the clock. They have an innate clock. They just wake you up same time every single day. So it's good for your routine. It's a bit more busy, but it's good for your routine, and it forces you to move a lot. I'm getting regret. I know that I cannot change the past, right? Because Cancer, you're the sign of the past, and sometimes you can hold on to something for too long, or rethinking if you could have done better. The thing is that we only have the future in mind, and the now, actually, the now is most important. So, what can you change now? What can you do now? Okay, because we have a society what says, um, by this age, you should have this, by that age, you should have that. And, I do astrology, and trust me, there is no standard age. Like, it all depends on your karma, it all depends on everything. Like, some people are going to get success later in life, and the mistakes that we make sometimes are lessons for us to become better. Because if we never make mistakes, because sometimes people want readings and they want me to remove all obstacles. Like, I cannot do that, right? um and when there's no obstacles, there's no lessons. So why not change the way we view our lessons and don't see them as punishments or regrets or bad things? What can you do? You can apologize, or you can change, or you can still take action on the things that you want to do. It's never too late. See what you can do from the position you're at now. I'm going at friendships, okay? So friendships are going to be important for you this month, okay? There will be some truth about friendships coming to the surface. Who's your real friend and who is not your real friend. But um, that's going to be helpful, okay? Sometimes the truth needs to come to the surface. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Maybe you're being blamed also for something. Maybe it's you who said something you regret. And all you can do is apologize and change things. Or maybe a friend did something to you. If they don't apologize, if they don't say anything, then okay, that's their choice. And you move to new waters. Okay, so that's my message for you. It's a great month. Really, lot of energies. Took a long time to make this video to create this because I was like, there's so much going on right now. It's going to be quite busy month, and but June is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to make that video. May is like a step up from April, and then there's like this good thing. So thank you so much for watching my amazing Cancer. And until next time, let's move on to Leo. So Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have this full moon in Scorpio at 11 degrees in your fourth house. So here we have a lot of focus on your mother line, okay? Your family, your home. So anything that, maybe there's some secrets coming to the surface. We have this full moon, right, in Scorpio. So Taurus is the opposite sign in the 10th house, and it is squaring. So there's a T square with Pluto in the 7th house. So there might be some, your partner is revealing things that maybe you didn't see about your family, or vice versa. Maybe your family is exposing something about your partner or your business partner that you haven't really seen that way. Maybe you have to make a difficult decision here where you have to move for work and, is your partner coming or not coming? Okay. And if you're single, this is also a major, because why is the fourth house in opposition with the 10th house? Because when we are feeling grounded, supported by family, our 10th house is, we are strongly rooted. So with Taurus in the 10th house, it's really about having steady long-term careers. So if your root is not stable, your 10th house is not stable. So this is where you're going to heal that, okay? Yeah, finding balance between home life, career, and your relationship. Yes, finding balance between those things. Also healing the type of people that you're attracting, okay? With the fourth house, maybe if you had a certain type of family, a certain type of mother, it will be projected on the partners that you attract unless we resolve it, unless we resolve um these patterns, because we just act the things that we were taught. And it's hard to get out of this comfort zone, but Scorpio is the best sign to get uncomfortable and to go out of that. Now, we do have a beautiful Venus in a conjunction with Uranus, and it's trining Pluto. So your friends can really empower you, especially if you're also in a legal situation. Some of you will have a legal situation with, divorce or even career related. Okay. And your friends will be your absolute support. And it could be with Gemini, Venus, and Uranus there that you're going to attract younger people in your life, more light, fun, out of the box, and they're really going to show you a different thought. Because honestly, I have some clients that are a bit younger, and this new generation, I'm so impressed. They're so mature. They have such mature they have such a mature mind. Honestly, I'm so impressed. Like the questions they are asking, how can they improve their relationships? I believe that a lot of the younger generation, they're just different, and I love it. They think about many things, and how can they improve themselves and everything. So yeah, it's not bad to have younger people around us, because sometimes we think they are younger than us, but they can be older souls coming in, right? We have Venus conjunct Uranus squaring the nodes. So the south node is in the second house and the north node is in the eighth house, okay? So you might be having fun, because Venus Uranus is also just having fun with your friends. So maybe you're having such a great time, but you're spending a bit too much money. So just Yeah, watch out for spending too much. Saturn is with Mars in the ninth house. We also, now they're separating, so there's a lot more energy coming through. Mercury is in a conjunction with Chiron, so you might have some trouble studying, or a trip might be a little difficult, okay? So it could be that you're traveling with your friends and there might be some delays, or you want to do many things and you feel restless, and yeah, be careful with, for example, doing too many sports and having like small accidents. I don't like to put scary things in people's minds, but just be grounded and mindful of your feet if you're gonna do any type of hikes or things like that. So we have a new moon in Taurus on the 16th of May, 2026 at 25 degrees. And it's going to be in your 10th house. So some of you, Leo, are going to start a new job, or you're going to have this, maybe you're going to start a new project at work. There will be some, for some of you, even a promotion, okay? Or just really good ideas that you're getting compliments from your bosses on, a job well done. And we also have Mars in a conjunction with Chiron. So once again, studying, maybe your belief systems could be a bit shattered. Like you thought things were a certain way, maybe on the planet, maybe your belief system, right? And things didn't really turn out that way. And sometimes that happens when we start to idealize someone, right? When we put all our faith in one person, this is where cults are very dangerous, because we want someone to help us and to heal us, because it is difficult to be here. But if you put so much uncomfortable feelings on someone else, right? Then you take away your own power. So you might, if you are someone that gives away easily power to other people, that might be a lesson that will be coming up. Okay. But at the same time, this is the most beautiful time. If you're doing yoga or you're a yoga teacher, you are someone that can really bring healing through action to other people. Okay. So this is a full moon in Sagittarius, a fellow fire sign, around 9 degrees on the 31st of May. So this will very much impact you, especially if you have 5-degree up or down, 9-degree Leo sun, moon, or rising, making a beautiful trine. Very creative time. We have this full moon in the 5th house of creativity. Maybe you want to start a new project. We have the sun in Gemini with Uranus in the 11th house. So workshops, fun with your friends. Maybe you want to have go out with your friends, bring your children if you have children, bring a partner, or even meeting someone new through your friendships. Okay. And yeah, for some of you, this can be a grand trine if your ascendant is between 8 and 15 degrees. So beautiful alignment, seeing a lot of progress there. Now we also have Mercury in Gemini, which is usually very strong, but it's in a trine, it's in a square with Neptune. So there could be some miscommunication with your friends, or, if you work with a group of people or in a big organization with a lot of colleagues, then yeah, there might be some miscommunication. Or if you're a public speaker, you might say something that people don't fully understand. It's like when you zone, you might be a few steps ahead and forget to point out a few steps in the middle. That's usually what happens there. Yeah, traveling with friends. Maybe you're gonna on a trip with friends and there might be some miscommunication. We have Mars, in the 10th house of your bosses, career, the government, authority figures, and it's square Pluto retrograde. So it could be problems with your business partner at work. Maybe you have disagreements. If you work with your partner as well, there might be some disagreements on how you want to launch something. Or it can simply be a public fight. Like someone comes to you like, why are you here? You should be somewhere else, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, maybe some truths even will be revealed about your bosses or about your company, which will change things. Now, Venus and Jupiter in the 12th house, very, very, very spiritual alignment. And they will be in a conjunction in June with each other. And well, you're especially, I think, excited for Jupiter going into your sign, which is going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to have so much energy, so many ideas. Now it's time to treat yourself, okay? Don't go full on. Just take a rest when you need to. It's great for meditation, spending some time by yourself. Maybe you want to relax by the water and getting ready for a new cycle where things are going to go a lot quicker, Leo. So, yeah, I'm going to get you a card before I go. Okay. There will be some fear of failure coming up for some of you, okay? And haven't we all that? Don't we all have that sometimes, you know? But mistakes are just ways to learn how to improve your skills. Especially with this full moon in Sagittarius, you have a beautiful alignment to to launch any creative project, to show your skills, okay? I'm getting indecision, and I use my intuition in all aspects of life, and I always say if something is not a yes, it's still no. So if people cannot decide and they don't know, when you don't know, it's not time to know. So give it time then. And when it is clear, and it comes through this urge, we have all had that. Like, I just need to be there. Just need to do this. If something is not clear, just be in the moment and let it come when the time is right. Sometimes we're trying to push something that is too early, and then later would be a better timing. Okay. I can give you even an example. A few years ago, I wanted to travel to Bali. I saw in my visions, I'm going to Bali and I want to go there. So I tried to book a trip to Bali and I couldn't find my bank card, and I was looking everywhere for my bank card, couldn't find it, so couldn't pay the ticket. And then I got an error and I got so pissed. I was like, why can't I book this? So I was sitting on the couch and I asked my intuition. I was like, okay, what is the country I should travel to then? And then I heard Thailand. So I went to Thailand, and a few years later, I was sent to a conference in Bali. True work. So I went. It was just not the right time yet. And I had to listen to my intuition that it was not the time to go there yet. So sometimes we see a vision too far ahead and we think it's now, but sometimes we have to be patient. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to make it too long because otherwise this video will be way too long. So thank you so much for being here, my lovely Leo. I so appreciate you. Sending you many blessings. If you want to help me expand my channel, subscribe to it. And until next time, let's move on to Virgo. So Virgo, Sun, and Rising, we have this full moon in Scorpio on the 1st of May at 11 degrees in your third house. So this is a beautiful time to explore your mind. Okay. Where are the obstacles that maybe you feel like communication or speaking up or not feeling good enough to say something or to study something, okay? These obstacles will be coming up, okay? Frustrations, like, why can't I do this or why can't I do that? But at the same time, this energy can help you do research in the best ways possible, because Scorpio is a sign that loves to go in depth. It's a water sign, but it's still very, very analytical, okay? That's why very often Virgo uh, and Scorpio, they get along well because they both like to analyze and go into depth. Okay. Now we have this full moon in a square with Pluto in the 6th house. Okay. So you might be traveling for work. Okay. You might be traveling and work is catching up with you. Like, I wish I had a break, but work is demanding things. Like maybe you're working online, or you're getting a lot of phone calls because your colleagues are like, oh, did you do this or did you do that? So try to stay in a routine that is not too much about work, that you also have some time to enjoy your trip if you're going to travel. Also watch out for certain foods on your trip. Okay, you might be eating something that is if it smells a bit off, just be a little careful with that. Okay. um Venus and Uranus in the 10th house. What a beautiful placement for work. You might have so many good ideas, very creative. If you work online, if you're in social media with Jupiter in the 11th house, you're going to have this really magnetic energy. Okay. You don't be afraid to be a little bit out of the box because it's going to empower people. Venus is in a trine with Pluto. So this is a beautiful alignment for that. And also a huge maybe transformation with your weight. It could be that you're transforming other people and, I've done this workout routine or I did this type of diet, and you might be want to teach people online to do the same thing. Okay. We have Venus, Uranus in a square with the nodes. Now the south node is in the first house and the north node is in the seventh. So it's kind of teaching how to collaborate, how to find balance between self and the other person, and how to sometimes let go of a plan and go more into the moment. Or you will have cases where you have to rely on other people, which is scary because you have to let go of control. You have to let go of your plans and find a compromise in the middle, or balance out, because we have a scattered energy. You can be so busy, Jupiter in the 11th house, with your friends, your work, traveling, relationships. So take it easy. Even if you're single, yeah, you might attract someone through work or through your trip. But yeah, you need to balance out multiple things right now. Yeah, do not let self-doubt stop you from going towards your goals. You might need to collaborate, partner up with someone in work, or work with clients directly. Helping others is good, but not at the cost of yourself. Exactly. And we have, April was intense with so many planets in Aries. Now Saturn and Mars are separating. So we still have this energy, but not so intense. Mars will start to act on its own, having more power there. This is really good for people who are investigators, again, because we have this investigative energy of uh, the moon is Scorpio in the third house. So if you're doing any type of research, really good. Not a good time for investments, though. So I would do a lot of research if that's what you want to do, but it's not really the best time. And maybe you need to arrange some taxes, contracts, papers, all these kind of things around this time. Also, we have this new moon in Taurus in a fellow earth sign. So you will be highly impacted on the 16th of May, especially if you have your sun, moon, and rising in around 25 degrees. It's going to be in the ninth house. So once again, great time to travel. It's a good time to read your books that you're interested in. Taurus is great for cooking, so maybe you want to know about vegetarian cooking because ninth house is more spiritually related, or Ayurveda, learning about certain diet styles. Yeah, learning about art. Maybe you want to do a new study related to art. We also have a conjunction with Uranus in the 10th house, so you want to be more free with work, not so trapped. You need a job that gives you some type of freedom. And yeah, maybe even income can be a bit more unstable, or the number of clients if you're self-employed. But, you know, the more you open up and allow this freedom to show you when it's time to have clients, the more it will just, be as open-minded as Uranus. We have Mars conjunct Chiron in the eighth house, so a healing of the masculine energy, and maybe there will be some changes with, shared resources. Make really good agreements there, especially if you're recently married or if you're partnering up with someone business-wise, that you make very good agreements there. Okay. And we have this full moon in Sagittarius in the fourth house. So this could be a time that you're moving for work, because we have the sun in the 10th house. Maybe you just moved, or you just want to, clean up your home, refreshen up your home. Because sometimes when your home is steady and you're feeling at home in your place, your work is also going better. Okay. We have Venus and Jupiter in your 11th house. How amazing is that? And even June is going to be it's even going to be better because they're going to be in a close conjunction. For now, Venus is still in a square with Saturn in the 8th house. So maybe you're having trouble accepting, the good stuff. Maybe you're attracting beautiful people in your life and you're like, am I worthy of that? Am I supposed to have all these good things? Okay. So yeah, it's about transmuting those energies. Mars is in Taurus and it's square Pluto in the sixth house. So once again, if you're traveling, what's your food? Not a good time to share your thoughts on worldly politics or your view, maybe this new diet that you studied that you're trying to explain it to your colleagues because they might not take it as well as that you're seeing it. Your belief systems in general might be a little bit of a mismatch. And it's really good to not engage in gossip with Pluto in the sixth house. That's gonna go against, yeah, against you. And yeah, with extreme hikes, climbing, things like that, be very careful by the end of May. Yeah, okay, let me get you a card. I already went to Libra. So I'm getting envy. So there could be a little bit of envy towards you at work. Um, that's okay. Keep doing your own thing. Stay strong in your own belief systems. You don't have to share. The moment you feel like you need to convince, is the time actually where people don't listen. You have to become it. So people become curious, like the things that you're doing are actually helping. Empathy. So maybe a situation that you're in requires empathy. Okay. I feel good when I help others. Service. So intention is always good first, because a lot of people, they look at the end goal, how much money is something gonna give me, especially regarding career. But sometimes the intention of what you want to do, of the service you want to do, especially Virgo, because you rule the sixth house and service is so important for you. So if you have the intention of service, then you will get the blessings of the other side. And usually your career is even going to get better. So yeah, that's my message for you, my amazing Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to help me expand my channel, subscribe to it. I would love to hear from you what your plans are for May. And thank you so much. And until next time. So Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Scorpio on the 1st of May at 11 degrees in your second house. Now, Scorpio originally rules the 8th house. So we have it opposite, right? So the second house for you is in Scorpio. And this full moon is diving right into a transformation of how to make money, of your self-worth. Okay, so any obstacles or fears that you're feeling, maybe of not having enough money or not feeling worthy of making money, those will be revealed around this time. We have this, the moon is always in an opposition, right? It's in Taurus in the 8th house, and we have this T square with Pluto. So Pluto is in the 5th house. So maybe these fears of not having enough money or not allowing yourself to earn money the way you deserve is because of your inner child. So Pluto in the 5th house is bringing up this, inner child woundings, especially regarding freedom, right? Finding ways of freedom through creativity, maybe. Through self expression. So, this is a beautiful time to dive deep into the past and where you can maybe release more of that creative expression, which is going to help you financially. Okay. Also, this can be related to finances and your partner and your children, or even finances, your ex partner and your children. Okay. And making good agreements there. So, getting the finances in order, budgeting, and looking where, money you need to spend money, or maybe where you need to save money. Sounds very boring, but it's part of our physical experiment, so to speak. Luckily, we have Venus in a sign of Gemini in a conjunction with Uranus. So, this is a very curious energy. So, maybe you're traveling, working remote and traveling, vlogging. This is also a beautiful alignment to learn astrology, numerology, human design, those kind of subjects might be very interesting to you. You're going to have this really light and curious mind. So even though heavy subjects might be coming up, on the other hand, you're feeling like, there's this lightness into your you're learning, and if you're a teacher as well, like you're just so open in sharing your thoughts that are more out of the box. Okay, so releasing this inner child, this block of self expression, can definitely be healed through traveling. It can be healed through studying and teaching or going on the spiritual path. And because, Gemini is more intellectual, it helps to study something that is kind of tangible that you can do research in, like human design, numerology, and all these things, right? So we have also Venus and Uranus in a square with the nodes. So the North Node is in the sixth house. So diet is very important, right? And the South Node is in the 12th house. So there's just a lot of energies everywhere this month. So it's very important that you find balance between your health, your routines, your rest, looking at your money, your contracts, and seeing if everything is in order. But make sure to find the right balance here. Saturn, we had this whole bunch of planets in April in Aries in the seventh house. Now, Saturn will be there for some time longer, okay? Really either committing you more to your partner, or it will be revealed that maybe things are not as they seem. Okay, so we either see separation or people growing stronger together, especially when Pluto is also in the fifth house. Okay, and with Mars there could have been some tension, and we have Mercury now also in a conjunction with Chiron. So have good conversations with each other. What are your expectations for the future? What are the finances? What are the travel plans? What is going on in both of your minds, so you can heal that. Okay. Same with your business partner. Might not be so easy, but you're either gonna commit to each other and you're gonna make it work, or it's going to separate. Okay. We have a Why is it not going forward? There we go. So we have a new moon in Taurus in the eighth house. Okay. So there is this massive, almost like reset and transformation happening for you. Almost like this aha moment that new realizations are coming your way. Okay. And you might feel very empowered to start a new job. And especially, this is good if you're either in art or if you're like in the financial industry. Okay, if you're a financial advisor, if you're in the medical field, this is a beautiful time, or in any artistic endeavor, or if you're an investor, maybe even new investments, something related to transportation, or something like that you're going to invest in. Now we have Venus in a sextile with Mars, and Mars is in a conjunction with Chiron. Okay, so again, there will be some discomfort with you and your partner. Maybe you want to kind of balance things out, or you're afraid to step up or make your partner feel uncomfortable. So it's really important to be vulnerable and to have open conversations. What hurts you, what you would like to see different, or maybe your partner is expressing that to you. So be as open as you can. This is a huge growth moment for relationships. And also, if you're single, this is a time where you're going to look at, give and take. What is truly commitment to you? And have you been fully yourself in your past relationships, or are you trying to adjust to someone else? Because that's really hard to sustain on the long term. Okay. And I saw this funny video about someone sharing, like, you should marry your best friend. And I think totally agree with that. Like, you should be um, completely yourself when you're with someone. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to sustain that on the long term, right? Um, so yeah, we have this full moon in Sagittarius for you in your third house. So for some of you, that's you're going on a trip, you're traveling. We have the sun in this light conjunction with Uranus, and the moon is in Sagittarius in the third house. Very curious sign. So learning new things. Maybe you want to visit museums. You want to learn. You're reading new books. You're watching documentaries. But yeah, definitely new study. Or maybe you're becoming a teacher in some area. Okay, or you're already a teacher and you just, you know studying to teach something that maybe you haven't taught before and you want to add that to your teachings. Okay, but like I said, great time to study astrology or anything like that if you're interested in, and even studying to become a pilot or like working in transportation. We have Mercury in Gemini, which is very strong, but it's in a square with Neptune. Okay. So there might be some miscommunication with a business partner or with your romantic partner. Okay. Now, Libra, I know I'm scaring you a little bit with relationships, but sometimes we go through this test and it's going to make you stronger. Okay. But if you're single, only real commitment can get through at this time. It's more now a focus on work because Venus and Jupiter are in your 10,000 in June. They're going to make a conjunction. This is fantastic for work, especially if you're in the if you have restaurants or you're in the hospitality industry or if you're in real estate, you're gonna get, there could be a new level of success coming your way. Okay, promotions, um yeah, so fantastic time. It's just that so much is happening because we have this full moon. It's in a square making this grand cross with the north node and south node, so keep your routines steady, watch your health. But yeah, work is going to be insane. Okay, and even maybe through work and you getting so many opportunities could be the disturbance that is happening with your partner, because your partner is like, I'm here as well. Like, I need some attention. So career wise, it's wow, amazing. It's like a step up from April and it's going to be even better in June. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We have Mars in the eighth house. It's squaring Pluto in the fifth. So child custody could be happening this month. Just make sure that, you know, stay calm, stay very calm. Financial issues, sharing secrets. Maybe you're going to hear some secrets about your children. So stay calm, even if it's shocking to hear. Um, yeah, or inner child healing is what's happening. But we also have this really light, fun placements, and it's matching the more heavier ones for transformation. But it's definitely a good month for action. So that would be, yeah. Let me get you a card. Okay, relationships. Yep. They're being tested a little bit. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So the people that come in now, like I said, it's either real commitment, it's everything or nothing for you. Perseverance. I know what I can do, whatever I set my mind to. So career is going to be absolutely amazing for you. So stick to good routines, rest when you need to, because it's a lot. Studying, traveling, everything. Okay? So take it slow and take it easy. Sending you many blessings. And until next time. So let's move on to Scorpio. So we have a full moon in your sign at 11 degrees. So checking your chart, what degree your sun, moon, and rising is. But yeah, you will be highly impacted by this full moon, which is going to impact your relationships or business relationships. It could even be legal situations regarding houses, okay, or family situations, because this full moon is in a square. It's a T square with Pluto in the fourth house, okay? It could be that there will be some disagreements with your partner and your family, or this is a healing moment where you want to break through the patterns that were in your ancestral line with family, of your family regarding relationships, right? Because we're not going to do it right in one go. And we have to forgive our ancestors for not getting it right yet. So if we dare to look at what they did and what you can do and what you've done so far in your life and how to heal your relationships. So this is a beautiful time to um, change your identity in depth, looking within. Okay, because when we change energetically within, the people we attract are also changing. So Yeah, there is just a lot of healing that will take place. We have Venus and Uranus, which is a bit lighter, but it's in your house, right? It's in the house of Scorpio. And this is about maybe diving into astrology because Uranus in Gemini with Venus, great for diving into numerology, astrology, human design. Maybe talking to a therapist is helping. And through these changes within yourself, there can be, you know, a new attraction coming in for you very soon. We have Uranus and Venus in a trine with Pluto. So, yeah, there is this healing taking place. So, you're working on your family ancestral line right now. Venus and Uranus are also squaring the nodes. Now, the North Node is in the fifth house. So, it could be that the art you're making, if you're into the creative field, or could be related to your transformation, to take that as an inspiration. Okay. Um, money could be coming in. So there could be unexpected money coming in through like taxes or um, third party situations, like maybe an insurance or, inheritance, but it can be a sudden income coming in that is not through your own earnings. Um, or there is a support for your children coming in. If you were waiting for that, there could be a result for that. Now we have Saturn and Mars now in the sixth house. This is a definite super alignment to work hard, but not so hard that it's going to lead to burnout or to health issues. So any health issues that are, in your body will be revealed around this time, okay? We have Mercury in a conjunction with Chiron. So even if maybe if you're working in a company, it could be a bit more difficult to work with your colleagues. So it's a good time to speak up, speak in, because Aries is usually quite blunt and Chiron is going to make you feel guilty for it. So meditate before if you want to speak up about a certain situation, but it's definitely advised to stay out of gossip. And for some of you, you're even going to leave your job. You're going to be like, I'm going to switch to the next job. Now, my recommendation is always look at your financial situation. Only stop if you're able to. Otherwise, wait until you have the next job lining up. And then you go to, you go to a new job. So we have this new moon in Taurus. So when I said you can attract someone new, this could be a day, 16th of May, 2026, at 25 degrees. So attracting someone new, a fresh start in your relationship, doing something fun together, having, a great time. It's a fantastic time to just treat yourself, okay? We do have Mars and Chiron, so again, take a close look at your health and also maybe at your animals if they're doing okay. But overall, a nice time to spend with your business partner. Maybe you find a business partner as well around this time. We have the second full moon, so full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st of May at 9 degrees in your second house. So income can be coming your way. You could be making more money. We have the sun in Gemini and Uranus as well. So maybe some investments that you've done might be taking off around this time. We do have Pluto now retrograde since the 6th of May in a square with Mars in the seventh house. So be careful with maybe housing situation or family situation and your partner. There might be some disagreements there. But we have Jupiter and Venus in the ninth house. So beautiful for a travel, especially close to water. Now, Venus is in a square with Saturn in the sixth. So it could be that, work is texting you saying, okay, Scorpio, can you look into this? Can you look into that? So, don't try to work too much. And especially June, beginning of June, we're going to have this alignment of Venus and Jupiter. That's going to be so good. It's beautiful. You can actually get visions of where to go next. And for some of you, you're going to settle abroad or you're going to find a house abroad. Okay. So, finding faith, getting even some downloads, or maybe you want to visit a place of your ancestry. That's going to give you some answers as well. So yeah, beautiful time, creative, a lot of energies going on. So find some healthy and good routines here. Change. Look at that, Scorpio. For some of you, there is a big change happening. A lot of changes, okay? And end of June, Jupiter will also be in Leo. So some of you are going to change jobs or are in between jobs, okay? We're getting friendships and courage. Yep, we have the South Node in Virgo in the 11th house, okay? So there might be some changes in your friendships, like people coming back from the past, and some people are leaving your journey, might be coming back in the future. But yeah, you will see who is aligning with maybe this new version of you, right? Because sometimes when you change, you're just not on the same alignment anymore, and that's okay. That's okay. We wish them well. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. So let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have this full moon in Scorpio at 9 degrees in your 12th house. So this is a very spiritual alignment. It's really good for meditation. Maybe do some swimming if you're close to a river or close to the sea. Take a bath. It's a very transformational time. But it's also the house of, I don't like to say enemies or, people that maybe don't wish you the best. Okay. This could be in the workplace as well right now. We have this full moon in the square Pluto in the third. So there might be some emotions that you need to transmute when you're spending time by yourself. Your dreams can tell you a lot of stories. Now we have this really in-depth full moon, but luckily we also have some lighter energies to balance that out. So I'm gonna go there very soon. So routines, rest is very important. Okay, not too much going around, driving around. Okay, and give too much away to work without thinking about yourself. Even some of you maybe need to take care of a sibling, and you have to also maybe listen to your emotions and feelings. Like it could be that something happened to your sibling, or your sibling needs a lot of care, and you're forgetting about yourself. So spend some time behind the scenes to really um yeah, feel your feelings. Okay, best thing is meditation or walks. Deep research as well. Pluto in the third house is fantastic to do research. So any research, maybe for work, working behind the scenes, researching things that are going to help you in the workplace, financially, spiritually, whatever you're into, or whatever is going to help you. Now it's time to do research and explore. Venus and Uranus are in Gemini in the seventh house. Okay, so it's a nice time maybe to even attract someone new. This could be through a trip, even, or you're going on a trip with your business partner or your romantic partner. And it's about fun conversations, open minded conversations, really light time. Okay, it's not to make those Scorpio moon feelings a little bit lighter. Okay. But yeah, not traveling to avoid your emotions right now. Work-life balance is important because we have so many spread out planets. There's going to be a bit of everything, right? And we have Venus and Uranus there in the seventh house, and we also have the North Node in the fourth house. So, like I said, don't run away too much. Also, take some time to rest. And if you need to take a break from work, or it's not the best time to just focus on career big goals. This is first inner joy, inner happiness, and that will result into more success. So it's almost like where you turn it around. First you work on your inner joy, and that will result into more success in your career. But if you first focus outward, then it could be that you're not getting the success that you're looking for in work. So Saturn and Mars are now separating in the sign of Aries. Aries Mars is very strong here in Aries, okay? So maybe you're working full force on creative projects, but with Saturn there, it's about taking it one step at a time, okay? Don't be too quick with it. And if this month, Sagittarius, you are pregnant, make sure that you don't do too many sports or movements. Take it very, very slow, okay? Move, but not like in extremes. Spending time with your children, with Venus and Uranus sextile Saturn, creative projects with a business partner might face some obstacles, but hard work will get you through it, okay? Do not doubt your creative skills. Maybe there are some doubts that are going to come up, but keep going in a Saturnian way. So one step at a time, and dare to look within what is holding you back from fully expressing yourself. So we have this new moon in Taurus on the 16th of May at 25 degrees in the sixth house. So some of you Sagittarius are going to start a new job. New job or a new project or a new client might be coming in, or this new business partner where we talked about before, because this new moon is also in a conjunction with Uranus in the seventh house. Okay. Also, a beautiful time to go for dinner, go to a nice restaurant, cook your favorite meal, a time for a bit of enjoyment. Okay. Maybe you're on a super strict diet, and this is going to be your cheat day. Because I always say sometimes people who go into extremes, super extreme, they later go into other extremes. It's best to have balance, okay? Balance things out, unless your body automatically says, I have no more need for it, which is slowly getting you onto the spiritual path, right? Where you really feel like it's just not important anymore. But when you need to hold it and be so disciplined, there will be a time where you're gonna, give yourself a little bit of it. It's gonna go into the other extreme. Venus is sextile Mars, and Chiron are in a conjunction. So this is about healing the masculine energy, or maybe your children need just more attention from you this month, okay? So more focus on your children, more focus on maybe your romantic partner, and this could be a little bit difficult. Like you're not really sure how to deal with this situation, but just showing up sometimes is enough. Okay. Just showing up is enough, because Mars feels like, oh, I should take action, or I should not, or maybe I should. And it's okay. Sometimes just being present and be a good listener is already enough. Sagittarius. So then we have this. I heard my cat meow. Just listening if my partner is getting getting the cats together. So we have this full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st of May 2026 at 9 degrees. So this is going to be in your sign in the first house. So this is a beautiful time if you're single to attract someone new, because we have this full moon in Sagittarius in the first house opposing the sun in Gemini with Uranus. So with Uranus in the seventh house, some people say, oh, this is not possible to attract someone. It's not true. It's just like you want to attract someone that's maybe a little bit more outside of the box, a bit younger, different culture. You're just more open-minded, or you want to experience more freedom in your relationships. And what is very important for you is to be with someone that is like a best friend. We have also Venus and Jupiter there in the eighth house. So there could be money coming in, okay, through taxes, inheritance, money could be coming your way. But we still have Venus there in a square with Saturn in the fifth. So there might be some doubts. Am I worthy of this money that is coming in? It could be through investments, property investments, okay? Maybe you inherit a property. There could be an inheritance regarding children. Maybe your child will get some money, or through an ex-partner, there will be some money coming in, and you need to make good agreements. But first of all, if money comes in for you, make sure that you are okay and you are worthy of what you are receiving. Traveling with a partner, Might definitely be there. It's just a really exciting time. Mars is in the sixth house in Taurus, but it's squaring Pluto in the third. So if you're going on a short trip, it might not fully be what it seems to be. If you're traveling around the 31st of May, could be with a sibling, okay, or the sibling that you needed to take care of, or in general, communication in the workplace might be a little bit difficult, okay? Anger with colleagues, you angry to them or they at you, or you make a comment that is very direct. And I know my Sag, you don't like to go around things. You just want to say it as it is. That's very fiery, you know, especially Aries and you just don't want to go around. You just want to say it, which can trigger people sometimes. So be careful around this full moon. Okay, what do we have? Guilt. Guilt. Um, Maybe you feel like I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So maybe you have to let go of certain things, certain belief systems that you thought were still serving you, especially related to career. And there is this new belief system coming up. Maybe you want to go towards more towards what you love to do or what is good for your body instead of, you know, achieve. Maybe now you're more into, you know, releasing fear of not doing enough, not being good enough, and knowing that, you know, if you put a few hours a day, that's enough. And you try every day to give it your best. Okay. We have so much going on this month. Really, I tried to make this presentation. I was like, the planets are just like so spread, so everywhere. So it's really good time to balance family life, friends, career, money. So just stay balanced in this whole situation and listen to your health. Okay. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Sagittarius. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Scorpio on the 1st of May 2026 at 11 degrees. Okay, I see I wrote it wrong in this presentation, but it was so long that I already thought there would be some little things coming forward, but it's okay. It's in the 11th house of friendships, community. So you will see some kind of transformation happening here, okay? And it's in an opposition with the sun in the 5th house. So this is your and in a square with Pluto in the 2nd house. So this is about a transformation in your self-worth. How do you feel with your friends? Maybe your friendships are going through some changes, your friend groups, okay? We have the sun in the 5th house. So if you're earning money through creative projects, maybe you're on social media and everything, you're trying to make money that way. Also be careful if you're selling things that the person that wants to buy your products is honest and that you make good agreements with that, okay? We have Venus and Uranus there in the 6th house. Now Uranus in the 6th house loves to be free, doesn't want to have too much control. So Capricorn, you are in a place at work where you feel like I don't want to have a boss like micromanaging. Some of you will even start to become self-employed, okay? But a lot of brilliant ideas might be coming true around this time, especially if you work online or if you work in science or, you know, new projects might also be coming your way. We do have, you know, Uranus there in the 6th house and Venus. And what I've seen sometimes with too much air in the 6th house is that people skip meals. So take care of your body because the energy is so much cerebral. Okay. The routines are more focused on intelligence and thoughts that we forget our body. So it's important to also listen to your body. And especially since the ruler of Gemini is in the 4th house and it's in a conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer. Okay. Now we have Saturn, Mars, and Chiron and Mercury there in the 4th house. So it's not the best time for moving, okay, this month in general. But when Saturn is in the 4th house, you really need a good plan and understand that things might go slow, okay? contracts with the house. And it also brings out a lot of discomfort in family. Okay, it could be that you have to take care of a family member, especially the mother, or any wounds with the mother might be coming up, or difficulty with the house. And it will take some time to heal that. So make good agreements and sign clear contracts there. On the highest form with Pluto there in the 11th house, your friends are really transforming you. Just not share so much your financial situation with your friends, because with this attention and square, it might be shared with people you don't want it to reach. Now, then we have this new moon in Taurus on the 16th of May, and you're going to be especially impacted if you have, your sun, moon, and rising around 25 degrees. It's great for starting new creative projects. Money could be coming in with your true creative projects, okay, through your self-expression, especially if you're an artist. You will do very well, okay? And it's a time to enjoy. Maybe you will meet someone new with this new moon in the 5th house, okay? New partner might be showing up, could be coming through work or online dating. Spending time with your partner, also a very fertile time. Because Taurus is about fertility. So if you don't want that, be very, very careful. Okay. Like I said, with Mars, Chiron also there now in a conjunction, it's not a time to take action towards family, really. It is about healing the family. So healing maybe the masculine energy, as in taking, did your family take action? Or are you sometimes afraid to take action when you're surrounded by family or speaking up? So uncomfortable feelings will be coming up, but it is only coming up for you to heal. But it's nice time to spend with your children this new moon, to do some picnics in nature. Fantastic time to do that. We have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st of May at 9 degrees. And this will be in your 12th house. Okay. So it's a time for you to rest here, to balance work with the sun, and Uranus might be unpredictable. So some days you might work a lot, other days it might be a lot less. But routines will be a lot more unpredictable. So when you can rest, take your time to rest. And it's about maybe watching some documentaries about traveling, get really inspired. Maybe you want to study behind the scenes, something new that will help with your work. Okay. We have Mars in the 5th house in a square with Pluto, now retrograde, went retrograde on the 6th of May. Be careful if you're pregnant, right? We talked about fertility before, but this square is, don't do any crazy workouts or something. And also, if you have big children, there could be some words with money, okay, about money, or with your partner. Though we have Jupiter and Venus there in the 7th house. So beautiful alignment for romance, okay? And especially beginning of June, the conjunction will be very tight. Now, Venus is in a square with Saturn, okay? So maybe some uncomfortable feelings come up, like, am I worthy of love? Do I actually deserve all these good things? Business partners can be coming in, romantic partners, and maybe even marriage, okay? And you're like, oh, maybe the house is not ready, or I should only get married if that is ready, or if we have a good relationship with my family. But sometimes we don't decide how things are going to be and what the perfect situation is. Like sometimes it's exactly how it's supposed to be. Okay, so try to be open and try to know that you're so deserving of love. Okay, let me get you. We can create certain belief systems, right? Like if some people rejected us in our lives, we think that we actually don't deserve it. Empathy. So have empathy in this case for yourself, okay? Failure. Like, what if I fail? What if it fails? Like, sometimes we don't even start something because we think we will fail. But if we don't even try, like, we will regret it. So it's better to try and to fail and not being afraid to fail, because failure is lessons, it's learning. You can get so much better in things, Mars square Pluto retrograde is here. Yeah, not a great time to gamble your money. No. Partner and kids might need money. So believe in yourself, Capricorn, and all will be well. So that's my message for you. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, let's go to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun and Rising. I see I wrote it wrong. It's the 1st of May. We have this full moon in Scorpio at 11 degrees, and it's going to be in your 10th house of career. So your career might be going through a bit of a transformation. And this is related because the moon in Scorpio is in an opposition with the sun in Taurus in the 4th house, and it's in a square with Pluto in the 1st house. So because you are changing in a really rapid rate, maybe the job that used to suit you is not suiting you anymore. So some of you will change. If you're into a psychologist or you're working with numbers, you can do very good research also around this time. And for some of you, you might even move for a job, okay? Moving to a different location because we do have the sun here in Taurus in the 4th house. We have a bit of a lighter energy regarding Venus in Gemini with Uranus in the 5th house. It's a very good for a playful time. So when you come home from work and all these intense changes, it's time for some lightness. It's a great time for creative projects, especially if you're into design or photography. Very good for, reading into science, whatever makes you very happy in your spare time. Okay. Empower yourself through creativity. Great time for romance and spending a lovely time with your kids. Okay. Good time for that. Um, yeah, Venus is also squaring the nodes, Venus and Uranus. Like the North node is in the 2nd house and the South node is in the 8th house. So some of you are relying more on your own income and not necessarily so much on your partner's income. Or if you have no partner, it's just, maybe you're finding new ways of making money and it's a little uncomfortable, but it requires you to fully let go on how it's going to come your way. Okay. We have Chiron conjunct Mercury in the 3rd house. So maybe you're doubting your words or you're afraid to speak up in certain situations, okay? Especially regarding your siblings. Maybe you have a difficult time communicating with them. You're just not on the same line, or you have problems with your neighbors, okay? Meditate before you do anything around this time. We have a new moon in Taurus on the 16th of May at 25 degrees in the 4th house, okay? And yeah, this could literally be a move. So again, it could be a move. It could be a time where you want to redecorate your home. You would just want to spend time with your family, being at home and feeling rooted and happy with where you are. It's just a nice time now, okay? Time to enjoy. We do have Mars and Chiron there, so there might be a difficult situation with neighbors and siblings once again, and it's hard for you to take action. You're not really sure if you should or have to take action, or if you're studying, it might be just a frustration, like, why can't I take action? And it's time to look at the reason why and heal that, okay? Because very soon you will be able to move forward, but Saturn is testing your progression, okay? And seeing if you are able to, yeah, to succeed with patience. We have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st of May at 9 degrees. And yeah, this full moon is going to happen in your 11th house. So beautiful time to have fun. We have Uranus and the sun in the 5th house. Go out with your friends, have a good time. Spend it with people that lift up your spirits. Very creative time. Maybe you want to launch a creative business into the cloud on YouTube, or launching a new creative project that you have. Mars is in the 4th house, squaring Pluto in the 1st. So it could be that your family is a little bit like, why are you doing that? Or not fully agreeing with your decisions because you're changing, but you have to stand up for yourself, okay? If there's anything in the move, there might be some little obstacles happening around this full moon, okay? We have Jupiter and Venus in the 6th house. So great for a new job. If you're looking for a new job, May or June, beginning of June, will be very, very good. And we do have Venus still in a square with Saturn in the third. So maybe you feel like, even though you have great ideas and things are well, this insecurity might be coming up. Like, am I saying things wrong? Maybe I'm saying things wrong. Okay. Now is time to heal that. Yeah, it's a beautiful time for new work. Let me get you a cards, Aquarius. Let's see, success. Look at that. Success is coming your way. It's a really fun month. It's a nice month this month. Little bumps in the road, but also a good time. Okay. Find a grounding between all that is happening. There has to be maybe some forgiveness there. Some people that, you have some fear about. Yeah. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in an energy of love. Like sometimes we have to face our fears, okay? And there's not a better time to do that than this month because there is so much optimism, creativity, and yeah, it would be a small thing that might make your life a lot better. So that would be my message for you, my lovely Aquarius. If you want to help me expand this channel, subscribe to it. And until next time, let's move on to Pisces. So Pisces, Sun, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Scorpio in your fellow water sign in the ninth house. Okay, it's going to make a grand trine with Jupiter and your ascendant, especially if your ascendant is between 13 and 25 degrees. Now I see that I wrote it wrong because this presentation was very long. It took me a long time to make, and I wrote 31st of May. That's the full moon in Sagittarius, which I'm going to go to soon. Okay. So this full moon is in the is in the ninth house, opposing Taurus in the third. So it's great for traveling and trips. Now we have Pluto there in the 12th house saying, okay, take action, do your things, but maybe also rest sometimes. And your psychic abilities might actually increase with Pluto in the 12th house, okay? But sometimes with Pluto in the 12th, we are not fully in our power. So sometimes we can attract people that are going to test your boundaries a little bit. Okay. So listen to your intuition. Your intuition is going to be spot on this day. Okay. Maybe you're studying something new. Okay. Or you're traveling to a certain place that is going to change a lot of things. Maybe a retreat or something that is just changing the way you see the world, the way you see yourself, right? We have Jupiter there in the fifth house, fantastic for creativity. If you want children, very good time, okay, very fertile time as well. If you don't want it, just be very careful. We have Uranus and Venus, a lighter energy in the fourth house, great for a sudden move. Um, Maybe even just want to travel in a van because Gemini rules the third house. So you want to travel around, not feeling stuck to one place, or you feel this restless feeling in the home, right? A lot of ideas might be coming true. Okay. The nodes, the south node is in the seventh house, north node is in the first house. Doesn't always say only focuses on you and no focus on relationships. The south node cuts off relationships that are no longer serving you. Sometimes it brings people back from the past or a past life. Okay. But it's just for you to find balance, to not overshare, overgive, and not take into account your own self. Okay. We have Saturn, Mars, Chiron, and Mercury there in the second house. So if you get any type of new job or you work with clients and you're self-employed, you need to have good agreements. Stand up for yourself, okay? Don't agree to things that are completely unfair. Now, Saturn can make you humble and say, less for more, which is okay. But first, try to fight your case, okay? Don't also work on this self-worth. Now we have this new moon in Taurus on the 16th of May at 25 degrees in your third house. So a new study, a trip. This could be a bit of a luxury trip, okay? Pisces, like massage or nice food, nice dinners, little road trip where you're just gonna treat yourself, okay? Buying a new car. Some of you buy a new car around this day, but watch your money because Chiron is with Mars in the second house. Okay. So it's really testing your money, your budget, and also doubting your self worth. Okay. So see what you have and what you can spend and budget that is very important. We have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st of May, the blue moon at 9 degrees in your 10th house. So good time to start a new job, to launch anything. Um, Sagittarius is so optimistic. If you're a teacher or maybe you travel for work, it's just about sharing a lot of information. So you will really rock an interview right now as well. Okay. Though I'm saying that, but Mercury is in Gemini, very strong, but it's squaring Neptune in the second. So again, uh, prepare what you're gonna say up front because Neptune can zone out unless you're very intuitive and you can channel the information. Okay, channeling can help. Letting it flow. Sometimes it just flows and it just works out very well. And make good agreements about money. Can't say it good enough for this month. We also have Venus now aligning there in the fifth house. I mean, wow, wow, wow. Especially beginning of June is going to be so amazing. Time to enjoy, maybe new romance coming in. But Venus is in a square with Saturn. So watch out for overspending. Maybe you're getting a child and you're buying all these things for your child or for your partner, like taking them for dinners and being so excited. Spending it on creative projects, like fully immersed in it. But you got to watch it a little bit. And also self-doubts might be coming up, and this is for you to heal. Okay, your creative work is worth money if that's what you want to do. You are worthy of having children, or you are worthy of having a partner. Okay, why not you? Sometimes we think others deserve it and not me, but why not you? Everybody deserves it. Okay. We have Mars in Taurus squaring Pluto retrograde in the 12th. Okay. So there might be some gossip going on behind the scenes. Maybe that you're angry and you're like, I don't even know why I'm angry or who I'm angry at. But there's this brewing suspicion. Okay. So just pay attention to that. And if you're traveling around this time, so this new moon is great, but this time it could have some bumps in the road and be careful driving. Put your feet in the ground before you are driving. Very important. All right, let's get you a card. Fear. You are dissolving fear this month. Your fear of trusting and self-esteem. Self-esteem, right? Your finances, and also trusting that things are going to be okay. Trusting yourself, trusting the universe, letting go of doubts are going to be so, so important for you. Um, so yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate you. And until next time, bye bye.